Greetings and welcome to the Mid-Missouri Kayak and Weather Report for March 2019. On the 22nd, a little after 1 o'clock in the afternoon, the temperature is 61 degrees. Headed for 63, probably higher. We usually beat the forecast. Very sunny, very sunny. We're going to have rain tomorrow into Sunday, Saturday into Sunday, today being Friday. And there's been a lot of rain. I would say it's been a wet spring, but spring's only 2 days old. And we haven't had any real rain here in the past 2 days. But the past month, past 2 months, there's been a lot of rain. So the ground is holding a lot of moisture, so there's a lot of runoff into the rivers. The Missouri River here is close to flood stage. That has to do with them releasing water upstream in the Dakotas from the reservoirs up there so that they don't flood out, which is also causing all the flooding in Nebraska and in Iowa, right? Plus the storm they just had. The river is high. It is high. I took a picture of the bridge crossing the Missouri River into Jefferson City from the north, the one access from the north. And there are markings on it that give, not the depth, they give the clearance height because boats go underneath there pushing barges. It is used for traffic and especially for dredging. They want to maintain a channel depth of 9 feet. Our flood stage here is 25 and we're right about at that. If it gets any higher than that, then water can come into a nearby creek, Wares Creek, and it ends up reaching some residential areas and flooding the athletic fields, the baseball fields, and that sort of thing. Now on the other side of the river, which is actually undeveloped, and it's in a different county, but that's also municipal, there are soccer fields over there that were underwater last week. So there has been a lot of water. Been a lot of water. And they say there's going to be more. Now, Nebraska, Iowa, northwest Missouri has been flooded, and St. Joseph, which I'm not sure, I think it might be 100 miles, within 100 miles of the northern border. That is right on the Missouri, and today they're anticipating potential for levees breaking there. So when those waters reach here, maybe it'll raise our levels. I don't know how that's going to work out. We'll see. But the city that sits up on a bluff should be fairly safe. Yeah. Now I'm on the Merle River, and it is twice its normal width. Here, maybe 1.5 times its normal width, because there's a bluff right over on that side that constricts it, but it's pushed up on this side. And just paddling along, normally as I pass through the farm fields, there would be a good 6-foot bank, and you can't even see it. The water's up into the farm fields. And I actually saw cows grazing right up almost to the water's edge, and I've not seen that before. Wildlife. I've seen a kingfisher, red-tailed hawk, and a great horned owl. There's a nest that is in a tree not far from where I launch, and I've seen great horned owl in there a couple of years ago. And last year, I thought that's what I was seeing. As it turned out, it was red-tailed hawks. Well, this year there is a great horned owl in it, and I think I could see a chick too. Now the owl had its back to me, and as I paddled around the front to try to get a better angle, it's 40 feet up in the air, and I'd have to be quite a distance away to get a good angle. Once it saw me, the adult flew off. So I'll see what happens when I'm paddling in that direction, and maybe I can get a front shot. I'm not sure. So yeah, so that's wildlife. Other than that, I haven't seen some starlings. You know, that's it. So weather, kayaking, and I hear a rumbling. This will be unless it's a helicopter. It might be a helicopter. 2 trains have passed within the last half hour as I was paddling up to the bridge here, and then just before I started recording there was another one. Yeah, and I think I will be pausing if in fact that is a train. Let's take a look at that. Last one was going on the other side, so you couldn't really see it. Let's see. Well, there you have it. Yeah, train's gone. What's going on? So, yeah, my last kayak a month ago, I talked about it, wedding at the end of summer, but there's also one just before summer starts, one in May, another family wedding. So that one will be in Ohio, so I'm looking forward to that one too. it's the year to get married, I guess. Well, actually, 2 years ago was the year to get married. Yeah, so we'll be driving up there in May and in September to New York. Yeah. What else? Oh, you know, I've talked about this before. I have a WordPress blog in which I post poetry. And every day, every other day, anywhere from 3 to 7, 10 times a week, I'll put a poem up. Sometimes I'll put photo blogs, maybe about a dozen of those. But I have more than 1,000 posts since April 1st, 2014. Yeah, that's when I started it, because I wanted to participate in National Poetry Writing Month. NAPOWRI, National Poetry Writing Month. NaPoWriMo. And one particular site would have prompts every day. So I would follow some of those prompts, or I would maybe be inspired by something that someone else wrote, or something maybe that some drafts I had going on, so that I would post those. And I participated in National Poetry Writing Month every year now for the past 5 years. So coming up on April 1st, that's my 50-year anniversary. I'm not sure if I'm going to post a poem every day. You know, in the first couple of years, I set out to say that's what I'm going to do, but you know, I've gotten out of the last couple of years. It's like, well, if it happens, it happens, and it has. So I guess we'll see. I'll tell you what. On the screen here, I will put the web address for that, so you can check that out if you want. It's kind of funny. The last 2 times I went to share a link for poetry from my blog on WordPress, that I tried to share it on Facebook. Facebook blocked them, said that they violated community standards. I was kind of disappointed, because one of them was a poem that I had written for our friend Dave. It was up there for a couple of days before they pulled it. So I don't know if someone tried to be smart and turned me in, but there was nothing offensive about it. In fact, it had likes, some hearts, and now only I can see it. And then the second one, I found out 2 weeks later when they blocked that one. That's how I found out about this. They informed me, you will only be able to see these on your page. Well, I can see the first one. I can't even see the second one. So I'm kind of miffed about that. I haven't tried uploading anything since then, and I think they're still unavailable. Yeah, so there's that. This is going to be a long blog, isn't it? A long vlog. So, my phone. It's a Motorola Turbo Droid 2. I've had it 3 years. And as it turns out, people started reporting battery issues just short of 2 years and into 2 years, battery issues. Well, Justin's went wonky 6 months ago, and around Christmas time, New Year's, he ended up replacing his. And I'm at the same point. It's shutting off randomly. Its battery. It turns off randomly. And usually when I go to change apps, so like say I've got the phone on and I go to open a text app or the camera, not all the time, it's really random and it's annoying as hell. So it won't happen if it's plugged into a charger, whether the car or the wall, or spare battery. And I've got a spare battery on it right now because I use the phone for my exercise app to log these kayaks, which, you know, it links with Google, puts it on the map and everything. That's kind of cool. And so I wanted to make sure that it wasn't going to shut off on me. And knowing that the breeze was behind me on and off now for the past 15 minutes, I'm also recording on the phone. So if I need to, I can take the audio off of here. Yeah, so that's that. That's annoying as hell. So what I've done is I've watched the videos, several of them, independents, the people selling the parts, and I bought a new battery for my phone, a kit that includes the tools, and it looks like it can be done in less than an hour. And it's not too complicated. It's called moderate, so it'd be a nice project. I mean, okay, so I spend, that was 40 bucks in shipping, so $49. And if it works, it works. If not, it was a project. And then I'll still have to buy a new phone. Yesterday, this thing shut off 3 times on me. Yeah. So I've, like I said, when I do something like this, I've taken to keeping my spare battery strapped to it. It's a 3,000 milliamp hours. That's a term. Yeah. So, and right now it's just keeping my phone at 100%. And still recording. And this has been a 10-minute video. So I'm going to call it quits. I'll paddle out to the mouth of the Monroe at the Missouri. Them being as high as it is, the dike, what they call them, wing dams that come out in to help direct the channel. Some of them will be well underwater, some will be too exposed, barely exposed, and I don't want to take a chance of hanging up on them. And besides that, the current's pretty stiff in the Missouri. So I'll do that. I'll turn around. Maybe I'll get a better picture of that owl. And yeah. And it'll be nothing getting out because the ramp goes all the way right up to the parking lot. The water does. It's just short of it. It's funny because when I first couple of years here, I really wasn't savvy on how this flooding worked, and I thought I'd come down here to kayak one time when I knew that there was a lot of water. The road that goes into the parking lot winds up to a side road along the highway, and where it enters at that side road, the river was all the way at that side road. That was something. So, wait a minute, I said I was going to stop talking a minute ago. This has been your Mid-Missouri Kayak and Weather Report for March 2019. Ciao, folks. And vlog on.